How are we doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another UFC prediction video. Oh my god, what a card we have this weekend. Live from Chiesa Center, is that how you say it? In South Beach, Miami, Florida, USA. UFC 299, Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Chito Vera. Main events, the most perfect warm-up for UFC 300. Holy crap, what a card we have in store. We have Sugar Sean and Chito rematch in the main event. Who else? We got Poirier St. Denis. MVP debuted against Kevin Holland. Oh my god, that's got fight of the night written all over it. I'm just trying to think. Oh, who else is on there? Gilbert Burns, JDM. That's gonna be a sick fight. Who else we got on here? Piotr Jan, Song Yadong. Curtis Blades is on here. I got the prelims right in front of me. Let me look. Yeah, Curtis Blades fighting Jalton Almeida. Caitlin Chukagian changed her last name to Sermona. I guess she got married. Good for her. Fighting Macy Barber, Mateus Gamrot, RDA, Pedro Munoz, Kyler Phillips, Ion Cote-Labas on the Fight Pass prelim. Same with Michel Pereira. And Michel Pereira, if you didn't miss weight, would have fought Wonderboy Thompson on a pay-per-view back in like July last year. This is actually insane how stacked this card is. Joanne Calderwood is the first fight of the pay-per-view, or not the pay-per-view, of the night. The genuine first fight of the night is Joanne Calderwood. This is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. Let's get into it and let's talk these predictions, because like, holy god, what a card we've got on store. We'll start off here with all the fights that I'll be watching on the prelims. The prelims deserve a really good shout, so we have to talk about them. Michel Pereira's fighting Michel Olszewczuk. Is that how you say it? He's Polish. I haven't seen much of this guy, but let's see. Yeah, this fight's gonna take place on the feet. I swear I've seen this Macau guy. Michel versus Michel. The A versus the E. Who wins? Close fight. It's probably gonna be a on the feet contest. Probably an underrated fight of the night, but I'm gonna go with Michel Pereira on this one. Close fight. Looking forward to it. It should be a great... I could see Michel landing a big shot to just land the night, and I think Cutelaba wins his fight as well. He's fighting Felipe Lins out of Brazil. Let's see. Did I not turn Do Not Disturb on? Oh, I just heard a big old ring from somewhere. But yeah, this guy likes to keep it on the feet too. I mean, he can go to the ground or go the distance if need be, but he's gonna stand with Cutelaba, and we know what kind of power Cutelaba has. Pedro Munoz fighting Kyler Phillips. Kyler Phillips is a favorite in this fight. That's interesting. I wouldn't expect Pedro to be an underdog, but let's take a look at the win by here. Kyler Phillips, 45% win by KO TKO. Pedro Munoz. So really, Kyler Phillips is looking to keep it on the feet. Pedro Munoz should be looking to try and take this fight to the ground, unless he lands a big overhand, catches him. I don't know how good Kyler Phillips' takedown defense is, but I'll go with my gut here. I'll go with Kyler Phillips. My head's telling me Pedro Munoz, but my gut's telling me Kyler Phillips, so I'm going to go with Kyler Phillips. Good god, what an underrated fight this is. This fight's really flown under the radar. Mateus Gamrot versus RDA. I know RDA is like 52 now, but like, Jesus, it's still a great fight. I just see too many advantages in Gamrot's favor. Maybe the experience plays a role, but I don't think so. I'm going to go with Mateus Gamrot to win a decision in that fight. Caitlin Sermona versus Macy Barber. I really like Macy Barber, I'm not going to lie. I hope she gets the job done. Just me personally, I really do hope she gets the job done. I should move this tripod over a little bit. My hair is getting way too long. I need to get it cut. But that's a topic for another day. Jesus Christ, 83% of Caitlin's fights have gone to a decision. That is wild. I mean, chances are Caitlin's just going to jab the head off Macy all night, and Caitlin's going to win a decision, but we'll see. I think that could be a good fight. And last fight on the prelims before we get into the pay-per-views, Curtis Blades versus Jailton Almeida. It's hard not to like Jailton Almeida in this fight. I mean, bigger, stronger guy. I mean, he's a little bit shorter. I shouldn't say he's a bigger guy, but like if you look at him, he looks like the stronger guy by a country mile. And I mean, this is probably going to be, it's two grapplers fighting, so chances are they're probably just going to stay on the feet. I mean, Curtis, I honestly don't see Curtis Blades as more of a striker. I think he's just on the feet more times than not because he's a heavyweight. But me personally in this fight, I'm going to go with Jailton Almeida. I think he's going to get Curtis Blades to the ground, sub him out, and it'll be another win for the Brazilian heavyweight. Maybe John Jones is a contender. Maybe Tom Aspinall is someone to fight. We'll see. Alrighty then, first fight on the pay-per-view. Petr Yan, the former bantamweight champ out of Russia, takes on Song Yadong out of China. Man, this has a great fight written all over it too, to be honest. Holy Murphy. Jeez, I mean, we know how good Petr Yan is. I mean, he just, thing with Yan, he just hasn't been the same fighter since that knee against Sterling. He just hasn't, and it's such a shame. It is actually such a shame to see what that knee has done to Petr Yan. Because remember how bad he beat up Jose Aldo on Fight Island? Does anybody remember that? He absolutely murdered Aldo that night. And we all know how good Aldo is. And he just took Aldo to school. Like, Petr Yan is the real deal. And I mean, I hope he can find some momentum in this fight, but I mean, Song Yadong's no pushover, man. And with how much UFC is pushing Chinese MMA, China. I sound like Donald Trump. But Song Yadong, I think he can pose some real tests for Petr Yan, especially even on the feet. Like, I don't know how good he is on the ground. Rarely any. Song Yadong has more wins by sub than Petr Yan, so that's kind of cool, I guess. Petr Yan definitely has the higher output in the striking assets. I mean, he has more significant strikes, more strikes landed per minute, more Petr Yan absorbs more per minute, probably because he's on the front foot 24/7. Song Yadong, he's out of that Team Alpha Male camp with Uriah Faber and those guys, so he's definitely gonna try and be more technical. I mean, both are pretty good at defending the takedown, and Petr Yan is a slight favorite. I'm gonna go with my heart on this one. I'm gonna say Petr Yan gets the job done. I really hope he can just get back to his old self, because if he gets back to his old self, man, we've got a real contender at 135. I mean, he's shown glimpses of it. I mean, against Marab, it wasn't really there. But against Sugar Sean, ironically enough, but against Sugar Sean, I thought in the moment, and for about 2 months after that, I thought Petr Yan won that fight. But I went and watched it back. I was like, I can kind of see why they gave it to Sugar Sean, but oh well. Petr Yan, I hope you find your old form, man. Please, dude, I beg of you. Jesus, talk about a fun one. Gilbert Durinho Burns versus JDM Jack Della Maddalena. Oh, baby. Now, this is a fun welterweight fight. This is a very, very fun fight at welterweight. Gilbert Burns, 22-6-0. Well, 22 wins, 6 losses. Excuse me. JDM, 16 wins, 2 losses. I mean, really thinking about it, I'm glad Gilbert Burns. Jesus, I'm sorry. I had breakfast right before this. I had scrambled eggs and some bacon. Maybe that's getting in my throat a little bit, but we haven't seen Gilbert Burns since he had that, like, those 3 fights in like 5 months when he fought, who was it? Who did he fight in Brazil? Oh, it was Neil Magny he fought in Brazil. And then he fought Masvidal. Ugh, don't remind me. That was Masvidal's retirement fight. But Gilbert Burns back in Miami too. He's won in Miami before. And he lost to Bilal the month after the Masvidal fight in New Jersey. Where did they fight in New Jersey? I can't even remember. It was where the Devils play, but yeah, no. I like this fight on paper. It's here's the thing, man. I think the key to victory here is Gilbert's got to make it dirty. Jack Della Maddalena is a great technical boxer. He can definitely keep you behind the jab and just work his range sort of thing, but I feel like if it goes to a slugfest and Gilbert actually works, thinks about defense and gets his chin down a little bit, I think he can out-scrap Jack or JDM. I mean, I think Gilbert Burns would be a lot better on the ground, because, I mean, you look at the submission stats, 43% of Gilbert Burns' wins have come by submission, 14 for Jack Della Maddalena, but Jack Della Maddalena also has almost 80% of his wins by KO TKO, so if I was Gilbert Burns, I mean, of course I want to test my skills on the feet against JDM, but I want to get that boy to the ground ASAP. We know how good JDM is on the feet. I mean, he's shown some really great performances. That fight against Kevin Holland back in what was that? The Mexico City card? Yeah, I thought he fought a really good fight that night, but yeah, JDM's got a little bit in reach too. But I mean, we've seen Gilbert Burns in this kind of situation before. Just look at that Khamzat Chimaev fight. God, I think he took years off his life in that Chimaev fight. Holy God. That fight against Khamzat, man, that was ridiculous. That was actually ridiculous how good that fight was. But, who do I think is gonna win at UFC 299? Burns or JDM? I'm gonna go with Gilbert Burns. I think I like Gilbert. I really do. I think JDM, he's when he's got to a position where he needs to take that next level, or just needs to make that jump sort of thing. He hasn't really had it. So, and I think that's going to be another, how do I say it? I think that pattern's going to continue in this fight against Durinho. So give me Gilbert Burns. I think Gilbert Burns, he'll either win by a late submission or decision, but I got Gilbert Burns against JDM. Oh, if this isn't fight of the night, I don't know what would be. Kevin the Trailblazer Holland versus Michael Venom Page. Oh my God, what a fight. What a fight. Just what a fight. You literally can't ask for a better fight than this. Oh my God. I mean, I'm hyping this up like it's Ngannou and Derek Lewis and Joe Rogan just being in the cage before the fight going, someone's gonna die! And then it's just... if that. But two karate and Muay Thai, kickboxing, just two very high level fighters on the feet. That being said, where they're both extremely high level on the feet, they're probably going to end up taking each other down. But then again, if there's one striker for striker fight that I would not expect that I can't see a fighter getting taken down in, is a Kevin Holland fight, because where he mutually agreed with Wonderboy Thompson not to take him down. Much respect. I mean, you probably lost yourself that fight that night just because of that rule, but I mean, good on you, Kevin Holland. I respect it. But the UFC debut of Michael Venom Page, I mean, he looks so great all the time. I mean, 21-2, he did bits in Bellator. I mean, he had that bare knuckle loss to Mike Perry, so I mean, if Kevin Holland lands a shot on the chin, man, he might take out MVP, but I mean, these boys are here to put on a show, and a show we're gonna get. I mean, I'd be surprised if this fight sees the final bell. I would really be surprised, because I mean, I think these two are just going to stand in the middle and just throw absolute haymakers, and none of them have any defense at all, but they both keep their hands like at their friggin' hamstrings and they just go at it, man. Like, this is such a great fight. I mean, I can see MVP landing like some crazy ass heel kick in like the 3rd round to take out Kevin Holland. I can also see Kevin Holland landing like a spinning elbow to just completely cut MVP open and like take all of his momentum. So this is such a great fight on paper, man. But what I think it comes down to is MVP's a little bit more skilled than Kevin Holland. Honestly, I think he's a lot more skilled than Kevin Holland. I mean, I think Kevin Holland is really skilled. I just think he lets the brawler in his brain take over. It's like the angel and the devil on your ear telling you, oh, you gotta do this. No, you gotta do that. So, I'm gonna go with MVP. I think MVP gets a statement win on his UFC debut. Man, could you imagine if MVP made his debut on 300? That'd be wild. But I'm gonna go with Michael Page, and I think Michael Page gets the job done by 3rd round TKO? Yeah, let's go with that. Oh, this thing's gonna get a little bit emotional for me. DP, Dustin the Diamond Poirier. A fighter I've really grown to love over the last few years. He's taking on Benoit St. Denis. The old guard giving the new guard a shot, and 5-round co-main event too. This is going to be a really good one. I mean, the only thing I'm really unsure of in this fight is what St. Denis' cardio is going to look like. Is he able, if Poirier takes him into the trenches, is he going to be able to go those whole 5 rounds? That being said, Dustin Poirier did just take a head kick off of Gaethje in his last fight, and that's why he's not the BMF champion right now. Oh, God. Why does talking make me so gassy? But, oh, dude. I mean, and you know what? That's how St. Denis won his last fight. He got a head kick knockout against Matt Frivola at Madison Square Garden, man. Like, Benoit St. Denis, he ain't no joke. He ain't no joke at all. And I mean, I'm really set on St. Denis. I just don't know what his gas tank's got. And I mean, considering he's formerly of the French military, you gotta think his gas tank is good. You gotta think it's good. And I mean, I think a part of this, like what makes St. Denis so good too, is his mental ability. Because I mean, God only knows what he's seen in the French military, and so and then just fighting in a cage, it probably just feels like nothing to him. It just feels like the next thing you gotta do on your list. So it's a great fight on paper. I don't see this fight going to the ground. I can see it going to the ground, but it's like, I see these boys just wanting to fight it out, to be honest. I mean, maybe St. Denis goes for a takedown if Poirier's getting the better of the striking exchanges, but we're going to find out a lot about both fighters in this fight, which is really interesting because we don't get these fights a lot. We don't usually see a number 3 ranked fighter welcoming a challenge from the number 12 ranked fighter. But then again, this is such a great fight on paper, man. It really is. St. Denis is slightly the bigger guy in this one. Oh wow, St. Denis is 69% of his wins by sub. Nice. But it's actually kind of crazy. I did not expect that out of St. Denis, but one thing I mean, I love Poirier to bits, but one thing that happens with DP is that he struggles with someone who can grapple and can strike. That's one thing I've really noticed over the last 10 fights or so of Dustin Poirier. Because, I mean, you look back, Dan Hooker ran through him. Conor McGregor ran through him twice. And Khabib You see what happened with Khabib. Justin Gaethje. See what happened with Justin Gaethje. So, well, I mean, the first Justin Gaethje fight was a slaughter fest, but Gaethje didn't really remember what wrestling was after so many hits to the head. But, in this very fight, my heart wins. I'm picking Dustin Poirier. I think Dustin Poirier wins a slugfest with Benoit St. Denis and takes home a decision. Love DP, man. I really hope he gets the job done, but I can really see St. Denis making a statement in this fight, but I'ma back my boy. I'ma back DP. Hopefully he gets the job done. And now we're left at the main event. Well, here we are. The Sugar Show Season 2 begins. The champ reign of Sugar, Sean O'Malley, faces Marlon Chito Vera in a rematch of a fight about 4 years ago. I remember watching this fight. I was at a good friend of mine's house. It was actually the first fight I got to see at a friend of mine's house since the whole COVID pandemic happened, because what COVID would have started March, and that fight was August. Yeah, because I remember, because I'm a big Stipe guy, for those who don't know, and my friend of mine was a huge Daniel Cormier fan, and let's just say I won a little bit of money that night. I won a little bit of money in the second fight too. But Sugar, well, we know how the first fight went. For those who haven't watched it, please go watch it. I mean, the way I saw it was Sugar was definitely was getting the better of the striking exchanges. He was more calculated, more composed, and he set up the shots he wanted. I mean, he was kind of using Chito as a punching bag, to be honest. But Chito, he's got really good kicks, man. And those kicks, they added up. He landed a kick on the nerve, and Sean O'Malley's leg just went limp. And then again, Sugar says the Sugar Sean Commission has overturned the loss. It's his no contest now, so I guess you can put the Pedro Munoz fight as a win now on his books. But oh, Sugar. I mean, let's be honest. Marlon Vera should not be the one fighting for the title. I mean, he's been very hot and cold ever since that Sugar win. I mean, maybe he's gone on a 2-fight winning streak, lost 1 or 2, then won 1, then lost 1, then won 2, and lost 2. So, very hot and cold for Chito Vera over recent years, ever since that O'Malley fight. I mean, he's kind of lost some momentum, but he's back. Sean picked him to be his first title defense, and they got a score to settle. They really do. I mean, both these guys do not like each other. You can tell from all their face-offs and everything. There's a lot of bad blood, a lot of tension between these two, and we're gonna settle it March 9th on South Beach. Who doesn't love a good fight in Miami, Florida, man? But I mean, Sean got the height, got the reach. Chito has the longer legs, which is crazy to me. Yeah, Sean, I mean, here's the thing. I can really see Sean just putting Chito's head into Rosette, but Chito, he's got a good chin on him. He's got a really good chin on him. I mean, those South Americans, they're not dumb. You know what I mean? Like, they're not dumb. Like, they're tough. They're really tough. I don't see this fight going to the ground at all unless Sean is like completely just demolishing Chito, and Chito just needs to take him down. But for my official prediction for this fight, I'm gonna go with Sugar Sean O'Malley. I mean, I think there's more incentive in this for Sean. I mean, for Marlon Vera, there's obviously getting the world title, but I just think Sean O'Malley has a lot to prove after he lost to Chito before, and I think Chito might come in overconfident considering he's beaten Sean before. But I'm gonna pick with I'm gonna stick with Sugar Sean O'Malley, and I think Sugar Sean gets a TKO or a TKO in the 4th round. And I mean, which is kind of crazy because he took out Aljamain Sterling in the 2nd. I'll say Chito gets to the 3rd. I think Chito's got a pretty granite chin, so I think Sean O'Malley gets the job done by a 3rd round KO, TKO. And that is that, guys. Let me know who you got for UFC 299 in Miami. It's gonna be so good to be back on South Beach, man. We all know what happened when the UFC went back to Miami. You had Masvidal's co-main event, and you had oh god, it was Izzy's knockout of Pereira. That's what happened the last time we were on South Beach. Gotta like when that kind of thing happens. It's a great day. It's gonna be a great night of fights. Miami, Florida. I'm pumped, man. You're asking for a good time when you get to South Beach, man. I cannot wait to get back to Miami. And yeah, guys, hope you enjoy the fights. I'm gonna be watching. This is gonna be one of the only fight cards I watch from the prelims up. We're only a month away from 300, man, and this is a great way to warm up for UFC 300. What a stacked show we got in Miami, man. Yeah, enjoy the fights, guys, and I'll see you for the next episode of UFC Predictions at UFC 300 on April 13th. We're almost there. We're almost there. Take care, and peace.